impossible. The High General shouted. This proves nothing. These are just games. Games that show truth, Commander Lyra said. The humans' ideas work better than old ways. War Chief Doran nodded. My people will learn from this human. We want him to teach our warriors too. And we want Commander Zara to lead combined training for all clans, Commander Lyra added. The High General saw that he was losing control. In desperation, he raised his sword to strike down Zara. But Kex and the other Red Moon warriors moved faster. They surrounded their old leader with weapons pointed at him. Stand down, High General, Kex said. The clans have spoken. Commander Zara is our new leader. Traitors! The High General screamed. All of you are traitors. No, Zara said, standing up for the first time in hours. We are not traitors. We are warriors who choose to grow, instead of staying the same forever. The High General dropped his sword. He was defeated, not by force, but by new ideas and changing times. Commander Lyra stepped forward. Commander Zara, will you accept leadership of the Red Moon clan and help us create a new alliance between all our people? Zara looked at Jake. Will you stay and help us build this new future? Jake smiled. I'd be honored to, but I have one condition. What condition? Zara asked. Next time someone gives you a compliment, you have to say thank you instead of arresting them. All the warriors laughed. Even Commander Lyra and War Chief Doran smiled. Deal, Zara said, and for the first time she hugged Jake in front of everyone. 6 months later, Jake stood on a hill overlooking the Red Moon base. But it looked very different now. The walls had been painted with bright colors. Gardens grew where weapons had been stored. Children played in areas that used to be training grounds. Zara walked up beside him. She was wearing a beautiful dress instead of armor. In her hands, she carried a small earth flower that Jake had grown from seeds. The other clans want to send ambassadors to Earth, Zara said. They want to learn more about human culture. And what do you want? Jake asked. Zara smiled, something she did often now. I want to marry you, if humans do such things with aliens. Jake laughed and took her hands. Humans marry for love, and I love you, Commander Zara of the Red Moon Warriors. I love you too, Jake Miller of Earth, Zara said. You taught me that the strongest armor is an open heart. As the purple sun set over their new world, Jake and Zara watched their people, human and alien, working together to build something better than what came before. You know, Jake said, I never did apologize for that first thing I said to you. Zara laughed, a sound like music in the evening air. Don't you dare apologize. That compliment changed both our worlds for the better. They kissed as the first stars appeared in the alien sky, and somewhere in the distance, children from both worlds were playing together and learning that differences make the universe more beautiful, not more dangerous. The end. I chose friendship over hatred, Zara said quietly. I chose hope over fear. If that makes me a traitor, then I am proud to be a traitor. The High General's face became even more angry. Take them to separate cells. Let them think about their mistakes before they die. As the guards began to pull them apart, Jake looked at Zara. I don't regret what I said to you that first day. You are beautiful inside and out. You showed me kindness when you could have killed me. Zara's eyes filled with tears, something Jake had never seen before from any of the alien warriors. And you showed me that there is more to life than fighting and dying. You taught me about joy and laughter and love. The High General shouted. The most dangerous weakness of all. They pulled Jake away to a different cell. This one was smaller and darker than his first prison. There were no windows, and the energy bars glowed brighter, making it impossible to see outside. For hours, Jake sat alone in the dark. He thought about Earth and wondered if he would ever see his home again. He thought about Zara and how brave she was to stand up for what she believed in. Then he heard a soft sound outside his cell. Someone was trying to be very quiet. Jake, a voice whispered. Are you awake? Jake looked toward the voice and saw a warrior he recognized. It was Kex, one of the warriors who had fought beside them in the battle against the Shadow Fleet. Kex, what are you doing here? I came to help, Kex said quietly. Many of us disagree with the High General. We saw how your ideas saved our people. We saw how Commander Zara became a better leader after she met you. It's too dangerous, Jake said. The High General will kill you if he finds out. Maybe, Kex said. But some things are worth dying for. Commander Zara taught us that. Kex began working on the cell's control panel with small tools. I can free you, but you must promise me something. What? Take Commander Zara and leave this planet. Go far away where the High General cannot find you. What about you and the other warriors who think like us? We will stay and try to change things slowly. But you and Commander Zara can never be safe here as long as the High General lives. The energy bars flickered and went out. Jake was free. I have also freed Commander Zara, Kex said. She's waiting at the old landing pad with a small ship. You must go now before the guards change shift. Jake shook hands with Kex. Thank you for risking your life for us. Thank Commander Zara for teaching us that friendship is stronger than fear, Kex said. Now go. Jake ran through the dark hallways toward the landing pad. His heart was full of hope and fear at the same time. Maybe they could escape. Maybe they could find a place where humans and aliens could live together in peace. But as he reached the landing pad, he saw something that made his blood turn cold. The High General was already there, waiting with 20 armed warriors. Zara was on her knees in front of him, a sword pointed at her neck. Did you really think you could escape me? The High General called out when he saw Jake. I knew someone would try to help you. I have been waiting. The High General's cruel smile grew wider. Now you have a choice, human. You can watch her die, or you can surrender and we will kill you both quickly. Jake looked at Zara. Even with a sword at her throat, she looked brave and proud. There is a third choice, Jake said, stepping forward with his hands up. Let her live, and I'll tell you everything about human military secrets. I'll help you conquer Earth. No, Zara shouted. Don't sacrifice your people for me. An interesting offer, the High General said. But I think I will just kill you both and take your ship apart to learn your secrets myself. The High General raised his sword high above Zara's head. But before he could strike, the ground began to shake. Lights appeared in the sky, more ships were arriving. But these ships looked different from any Jake had seen before. What is happening? The High General demanded. One of his warriors ran up to him. Sir, it's the other clans. The Blue Star Warriors and the Silver Moon Tribe are landing. They say they heard about the human who saved the Red Moon base, and they want to see him for themselves. The High General's face went white with shock. The other warrior clans were supposed to be his allies, but they had come without being invited. This changes everything, Zara whispered to Jake with hope in her voice. The final battle was about to begin, but now Jake and Zara were not alone. The ships from the other clans landed around the base with loud thunder sounds. Jake watched as hundreds of new warriors stepped out. These aliens looked similar to Zara's people, but their armor was different colors, bright blue and shining silver. A tall warrior with blue armor walked toward the High General. Her voice was strong and clear. I am Chief Commander Lyra of the Blue Star Warriors. We heard stories about a human who saved the Red Moon base with new fighting ideas. Behind her came another leader in silver armor. I am War Chief Doran of the Silver Moon Tribe. Our scouts told us this human taught your people how to defeat the Shadow Fleet when they had more ships than you. The High General still held his sword above Zara's head, but now he looked worried. This is Red Moon business. You have no right to interfere. When one clan discovers new ways to win battles, it becomes business for all clans, Commander Lyra said. She looked at Jake with curious yellow eyes. You are the human they speak of? Yes, Jake said. My name is Jake Miller and I'm from Earth. Show me your fighting wisdom, War Chief Doran said. Prove these stories are true. Jake looked around at all the warriors watching him. His heart beat very fast, but he knew this was his only chance to save Zara. Your people have been fighting the same way for hundreds of years, Jake said loudly so everyone could hear. You think strength and honor mean fighting face to face, even when the enemy has better weapons or more soldiers. Some warriors looked angry at his words, but the clan leaders listened carefully. But real strength means protecting your people, Jake continued. Sometimes that means fighting smart instead of fighting hard. Sometimes that means working together instead of fighting alone. Lies, the High General shouted. This alien fills your minds with weakness. Let him finish, Commander Lyra said firmly. Jake pointed at the High General. He calls friendship and teamwork weakness. But look what happened when Commander Zara and I worked together. We defeated an enemy that had twice as many ships. We saved lives that would have been lost in an honor battle. One battle proves nothing, the High General said. Then let's make it a test, Jake said, getting an idea. Single combat, but not the old way, the new way. If I win, Zara and I go free. If I lose, you can kill us both. Everyone was surprised by Jake's challenge. He was much smaller than the High General and had no training with their weapons. What kind of combat? War Chief Doran asked with interest. A battle of minds, Jake said. Give us each 10 warriors and a battle problem to solve. Whoever solves it better wins, the High General laughed. You want to play games instead of real fighting? Afraid your old ways can't beat new ideas? Jake asked. The High General's face turned dark red with anger. Fine. We will show these fools that strength is the only truth. Commander Lyra and War Chief Doran agreed to judge the contest. They created a battle simulation, a computer game that showed enemy ships attacking a base. The High General chose his 10 best warriors. Jake looked around and saw Kex and 9 other warriors who had helped in the battle against the Shadow Fleet. I choose them, Jake said. The contest began. The High General's team used traditional tactics, direct attacks and honor formations. Jake's team used the new ideas, surprise attacks, teamwork and creative thinking. Within 20 minutes, Jake's team had won completely. The watching warriors cheered and talked excitedly among themselves. Zara, you showed me kindness when you could have killed me. Now let me show you what humans can do when they want to help. Another explosion shook the building. Zara nodded once, then handed Jake a weapon. Stay close to me, she said, and try not to die. I still have many questions about your strange human ways. As they ran toward the battle, Jake wondered if he was about to make the best decision of his life, or the last decision of his life. Jake and Zara ran through the dark hallways of the base. Explosions shook the walls around them. Red emergency lights flashed on and off, making everything look like a nightmare. The enemy is the Shadow Fleet, Zara shouted over the noise. They want to destroy our home world. They have been our enemies for 100 years. They reached the command center, where other warriors were shouting orders and looking at battle screens. Jake saw the enemy ships on the screens, black ships shaped like knives, cutting through space toward the base. Commander Zara, a warrior called out. The enemy has 20 ships. We only have 10. They will destroy us. Zara looked at the battle screens. Her face was worried but determined. We will fight until the last warrior falls. Jake studied the screens carefully. He saw something that the alien warriors did not see. Wait, Jake said. Look at how the enemy ships are flying. They're all following the same pattern. So what? Another warrior asked. That shows they are disciplined. No, Jake said. It shows they think the same way. They expect you to fight them the same way you always fight. But what if you don't? Zara looked at Jake with interest. What do you mean, human? Jake pointed at the screen. Your ships are faster than theirs, right? But you're trying to fight them head-on like a traditional battle. Instead, what if some of your ships pretend to run away? Run away? The warriors looked angry. We do not run from battle. Not really run away, Jake explained quickly. Pretend to run away. Make the enemy think they are winning. Then, when they follow your ships into that asteroid field, the rest of your ships can attack them from behind. Zara thought about this. It could work, but it goes against everything we were taught about honorable fighting. Sometimes you have to change the rules to save your people, Jake said. Another explosion hit the base. This one was much closer. Through the windows they could see enemy fighters attacking the landing area. We are running out of time, Zara said. All right, human, we will try your plan. Zara gave orders to her pilots. Half the ships would pretend to retreat toward the asteroid field. The other half would hide behind the planet's moon. This plan better work, one of the warriors said to Jake. If it fails, we all die. Jake felt the pressure of everyone's lives on his shoulders. Trust me, humans have been fighting smart instead of just fighting hard for thousands of years. They watched the screens as the plan began. The alien ships pretended to run away, flying toward the asteroids. The enemy ships followed them just like Jake predicted. They are taking the bait, Zara said with excitement in her voice. The enemy ships chased the retreating ships into the asteroid field. Then Zara's hidden ships came out from behind the moon. Now! Zara shouted into her communication device. Attack from behind! The battle turned quickly. The enemy ships were trapped between the asteroids and Zara's ships. They had no room to move. Within minutes, half the enemy ships were destroyed, but the battle was not over. The remaining enemy ships turned around and started attacking the base directly. "They are targeting our power center," a warrior reported. "If they destroy it, our shields will fail." Jake looked at the screens again. He saw enemy ground troops landing near the base. "Zara, we need to go outside," Jake said. "I have an idea, but we need to be on the ground." "It is too dangerous," Zara said. "You are not a warrior." "Maybe not," Jake said, "but I'm pretty good at solving problems." Zara looked at him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "We go together, but stay close to me." They ran outside into the battle. Enemy soldiers in black armor were shooting at the base's power station. Zara's warriors were shooting back, but they were outnumbered. Jake noticed something important. "Zara, look at their formation. They're protecting that big weapon in the center." "Yes, it is a plasma cannon," Zara said. "It can destroy our power station with one shot." "But look where it's positioned," Jake said. "If we can get behind those rocks over there, we can attack it from its blind spot." "There are too many enemy soldiers between us and those rocks," Zara said. Jake smiled. "That's where human creativity comes in. Do you trust me?" Zara looked into his eyes. After everything they had shared, after seeing his plan work in space, she made her decision. "I trust you, Jake Miller of Earth." Jake explained his plan quickly. Then they moved. Jake ran straight toward the enemy soldiers, shouting and making lots of noise. The enemy soldiers all turned to shoot at him. But while they were distracted, Zara ran around the other side, moving like a shadow. Jake dove behind cover just as the enemy weapons fired where he had been standing. At the same moment, Zara reached the plasma cannon from behind. With her glowing sword, she cut through the weapon's power cables. The cannon exploded in a shower of sparks. The enemy soldiers realized they had been tricked. They turned to attack Zara, but now Jake came up behind them. Working together, Jake and Zara defeated the enemy ground troops. Jake used his intelligence to predict their moves, while Zara used her warrior skills to fight them. When the battle was over, they sat together on a hill overlooking the base. The enemy ships were retreating into deep space. "Your plan worked," Zara said. "You saved my people." "We saved your people," Jake corrected her. "I couldn't have done it without you." Zara looked at Jake with new respect. "I was wrong about humans. You are not weak. You are strong in ways I never understood." "And you're not just a warrior," Jake said. "You're smart and brave and willing to try new things. That takes real courage." For the first time since Jake had known her, Zara smiled. It was a real smile, warm and happy. "Is this what humans call friendship?" she asked. "It's the beginning of friendship," Jake said, as they watched the purple sunset together. Neither of them noticed the dark figure watching from the shadows of the base. The High General had returned early from his mission. He had seen everything, the battle, the teamwork, and most importantly, Commander Zara smiling at an alien. His yellow eyes burned with anger as he spoke quietly into his communication device. "Prepare the execution chamber. Commander Zara has betrayed everything we stand for. She and the alien will both die tomorrow at sunrise." The storm was coming, and neither Jake nor Zara knew how much their growing friendship would soon be tested. Jake woke up to the sound of heavy boots walking toward his cell. But this time it was not Zara coming to visit him. 3 large warriors in black armor stood outside the energy bars. Their faces looked angry and cold. "Get up, alien," one of them said. "The High General wants to see you." Jake's heart began beating fast. He had heard other warriors talk about the High General with fear in their voices. This was not good news. They put heavy chains on Jake's arms and legs. The chains were so heavy he could barely walk. They dragged him through the hallways to a large room with high ceilings. At the far end of the room sat the High General on a throne made of black metal. He was the largest alien Jake had ever seen. His red skin was darker than the others, almost like blood. Scars covered his face and arms from many battles. When he looked at Jake, his yellow eyes burned with hate. Standing beside the throne was Zara, but she looked different now. Her head was down, and her hands were chained behind her back. 2 guards stood on each side of her. "Commander Zara," the High General said in a voice like thunder. "Look at what your weakness has brought you." Zara raised her head. When she saw Jake in chains, her face filled with pain. You promised you would not hurt him if I cooperated. I lied, the High General said with a cruel smile, just like you lied when you said you were loyal to our people. The High General stood up from his throne. He was so tall that his head almost touched the ceiling. For 30 years, Commander Zara was our best warrior. She killed more enemies than any other soldier. But then this soft alien arrived and made her weak. She saved your people, Jake shouted. Her new ideas won the battle against the Shadow Fleet. The High General walked down from his throne until he stood right in front of Jake. You taught her to think like a human. You taught her to care about enemies. You made her forget that strength is the only thing that matters. Caring about others is strength, Jake said, even though he was scared. Zara is stronger now than she ever was before. The High General hit Jake across the face with the back of his hand. Jake fell to the ground, tasting blood in his mouth. Stop! Zara cried out. She tried to run to Jake, but the guards held her back. Look how she cares more about an alien than her own people, the High General said to the other warriors watching. This is what happens when we let weakness into our hearts. The High General walked back to his throne. At sunrise, you will both die. The alien will die because he is an enemy spy. Commander Zara will die because she chose an alien over her duty. The small Earth trading ship spun out of control through space. Sparks flew from broken controls as Jake Miller fought with the steering wheel. His ship was falling fast toward a strange purple planet. Come on, Jake shouted at his dying ship. Just land safely. The ship crashed hard into thick purple trees. Jake's head hit something hard and everything went black. When Jake woke up, he could not move. His arms and legs were tied with strong ropes. He lay on cold ground under strange purple sky. Around him stood 6 tall figures pointing sharp weapons at his chest. Jake's heart beat very fast. These were not humans. The aliens were 7 feet tall with dark red skin that seemed to glow in the strange sunlight. They wore black metal armor that covered their strong bodies. Their faces looked almost human, but their eyes were bright yellow like fire. Long black hair fell from their heads like waterfalls. Is the alien awake? One of them asked in perfect English. Jake was very surprised. They could speak his language. The largest alien stepped forward. This one was different from the others. She was a woman, Jake could tell, and she moved like a dangerous cat. Her armor was more beautiful than the others, with silver lines that made patterns like lightning. Her face was serious but very beautiful. I am Commander Zara of the Red Moon Warriors, she said in a deep voice. You have entered our space without permission. You are a spy. No, Jake said quickly. I'm not a spy. I'm just a trader. My ship broke down. I didn't mean to come here. Commander Zara walked closer. Her yellow eyes looked at Jake like she was trying to read his thoughts. All aliens who come to our world are spies. You will die now. She pulled out a long silver sword that glowed with blue light. The other warriors stepped back, giving her room. Jake felt very scared. He had to think fast. Wait, please wait. Give me one reason why I should not kill you now, Zara said. She held the sword close to Jake's neck. He could feel the heat from the glowing blade. Jake's mind went blank with fear. He looked up at the tall alien woman standing over him. Even though he was about to die, he could not help but notice something. You have a really nice butt, Jake said without thinking. The words came out before he could stop them. Everything stopped. The other warriors looked shocked. Their mouths opened wide. They looked at each other with surprise and fear. Commander Zara froze like a statue. Her sword stopped moving. Her face, which was already red, became even more red. The glow of her skin got brighter. What did you say? She asked very quietly. Jake realized what he had just done. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just scared and... No one has ever... Zara started to say, then stopped. She touched her face with her free hand. No one has ever said such words to me. One of the other warriors stepped forward. Commander, what is happening? Should we kill him now? But Zara did not answer. She kept looking at Jake with a strange expression. Her yellow eyes were wide and confused. She seemed to be fighting with herself inside her head. Commander? The warrior asked again. Zara shook her head like she was waking up from a dream. She put her sword away but still looked confused. Take him prisoner, she said finally. I will deal with him myself. But Commander, another warrior said, the law says all alien spies must die quickly. Why do you want to keep him alive? Zara's face became hard and serious again. I am your commander. You will do what I say. Take him to the prison cells. The warriors looked at each other but said nothing more. They lifted Jake up and started walking toward a large building made of black stone. As they walked, Jake looked back at Commander Zara. She was still standing where they left her, touching her face and looking very confused. "I really messed up this time," Jake said to himself. One of the warriors holding him laughed. "Yes, alien. No one talks to Commander Zara like that. She has never shown mercy to any prisoner before. But something is different now." "Different how?" Jake asked. The warrior looked at him with curious yellow eyes. "In 30 years of war, I have never seen our commander blush." As they reached the prison building, Jake heard Commander Zara give orders to the other warriors. But he also heard something else in her voice, something that sounded almost like confusion, maybe even curiosity. Jake wondered if his big mistake might somehow save his life, or maybe it would make his death much worse. Jake woke up inside a cage made of blue light. The energy bars hummed softly and glowed in the dark room. He tried to touch one bar with his finger, but it burned him. He pulled his hand back quickly. "Do not touch the prison walls," a voice said from the shadows. "They will hurt you." Jake looked up and saw Commander Zara standing outside his cell. She was not wearing her armor now. Instead, she wore simple dark clothes that showed her strong arms. Her red skin still glowed softly in the dim light. "Why did you say that to me?" Zara asked. She walked closer to the energy bars. "Say what?" Jake asked, even though he knew exactly what she meant. "You know what you said," Zara replied. "About my body. Why did you say those words?" Jake sat down on the cold floor. "I was scared. When people get scared, sometimes they say stupid things. I'm sorry if I made you angry." Zara looked confused. "Angry? I am not angry. I do not know the word for what I feel." She sat down outside the cell, facing Jake through the blue bars. For a few minutes, neither of them spoke. "In our culture," Zara said finally, "warriors do not talk about bodies. We do not say nice things about how others look. We only talk about strength and fighting." "That sounds very lonely," Jake said. "Lonely?" Zara repeated the word like she had never heard it before. "What does that mean?" Jake was surprised. "It means being alone, feeling sad because you have no friends to care about you." Zara thought about this. "We have our warrior brothers and sisters. We fight together. But do they ever tell you that you look nice? Do they ever say kind words to make you feel happy?" "No," Zara said slowly. "Kind words make warriors weak. My father taught me this when I was small." "Your father was wrong," Jake said gently. Zara's eyes flashed with anger. "Do not speak badly about my father. He was the greatest warrior of our people." "I'm sorry," Jake said quickly. "I just think that kind words make people stronger, not weaker." Zara stood up and began walking back and forth like a caged animal. "You are lying. Kind words are tricks that enemies use to make us drop our guard." Jake pulled out his small communication device from his pocket. The guards had not taken it because it was broken, but the pictures still worked. "Look at this," Jake said, showing Zara the screen. Zara came closer to see. On the screen was a picture of Earth, green forests, blue oceans, and white clouds. "This is my home world," Jake explained. "We have flowers there." He showed her more pictures. "We have art, music, and poetry. People tell each other nice things every day." Zara stared at the pictures. "It looks soft, weak. Maybe," Jake said. "But we are happy. We smile and laugh. Do your people ever laugh?" Zara was quiet for a long time. "We laugh when our enemies die." "That's different," Jake said. "I mean laughing because you feel joy. Laughing because something is funny or beautiful." Jake showed her a picture of human children playing in a park. They were running and laughing together. "What are they doing?" Zara asked. "Playing. Having fun. Being happy." Zara touched the screen gently. "They look free." "They are free," Jake said. "Free to be happy, free to say nice things, free to care about each other." Over the next hour, Jake showed Zara more pictures and told her about human culture. He explained how humans say, "thank you" and "please." He told her about birthdays and gifts. He explained how humans take care of each other when they are sick or sad. Zara listened to every word. Sometimes she asked questions. Her voice got softer as they talked. "Do human men really tell human women that they are beautiful?" Zara asked. "All the time," Jake said. It makes both people feel good. And this makes humans stronger? Yes, in a different way. When people feel loved and cared for, they want to protect each other. They fight harder for things they care about. Zara was quiet again. Then she said, "No one has ever told me I was beautiful before." "Well, you are," Jake said simply. "You're very beautiful." Zara's face became more red. She looked down at the ground. "You make me feel strange inside, like there is a warm fire in my chest." "That's a good feeling," Jake said. "It means you're happy." Suddenly, loud alarms began ringing throughout the building. Red lights flashed on and off. Zara jumped to her feet, her warrior training taking over. "Attack ships!" a voice shouted from somewhere in the building. "Enemy ships are attacking the base." Through the small window, Jake could see bright explosions in the purple sky. Enemy ships were firing weapons at the base. Zara looked at Jake, then at the door, then back at Jake. Her face showed the war happening inside her mind. "My people need me," she said. "Then go fight," Jake said. "I understand." Zara started to leave, then stopped. She turned back to Jake with desperate eyes. "I need your help, human," she said quietly. "Your people are smart in different ways than mine. You might see things we cannot see." She touched the control panel, and the energy bars disappeared. "But if you betray me," Zara said, her hand moving to her sword, "if you try to escape or hurt my people, I will kill you myself." Jake stood up and looked into her yellow eyes. "I won't betray you.